Welcome to the Fowler Show here on this Monday, September the 6th. Just gone 7 p.m. UK time, 2 p.m. Eastern, and of course, we can't forget about the West Coast, the best area in the world. It has gone 11 a.m. in the morning, West Coast time. So good late morning to you. It is a beautiful day, or now evening, here in Manchester. Hope you also like the new background. We've gotten rid of that Las Vegas background. It had nothing to do with the show because, of course, I'm not in Las Vegas. I'm right here in Manchester. Of course, this is the lovely Media City UK, which you can see on the intro, which we just shown you there. It took us, about 8 months or so to get that, to get a picture, to get a snapshot of Media City UK and bring it onto the background here. Hope you enjoy the new look as well across our social media. And of course, you can follow me on social media: Facebook, Edward Fowler Show, Twitter, _Edward Fowler _, and of course on Instagram, Edward Fowler Show, to stay up all today with all the latest to do with the YouTube channel, as well with who may be coming on the show. Had an interesting email from a hit reality show this morning, so I'm hoping we can bring that person onto the show in the coming days or hopefully weeks. Of course, to kick off this new nightly show, I'm going to downsize this. We may be on for 2 hours, and decided that's a bit too long for me. We're going to do this for how long I think it should go on, and I think that this is how it should be. But we will have from 7 p.m. onwards. There's going to be no time frame. We might end in within under an hour, maybe over an hour, maybe even 2 hours or 3 hours. But I'm going to change that thumbnail soon, in the cover photo soon, to change it from 7 p.m. onwards, from 7 p.m. UK time, because I'm thinking maybe having a time frame like a 2 hour show, I think it's too much for me. But moving on from that subject, you can join in the conversation if you're watching us live or on demand. Use the hashtag The Edward Fowler Show on Twitter, or either in the YouTube comment section below. We're being joined as well today. You may have saw a clip posted onto my social media earlier on that Ty McBride will be here on the show around 7:45 p.m. UK time. That is about over 45 minutes or under 45 minutes from now. You do the maths here, and we got plenty to talk about between then and now, obviously. Of course, it's a pre-recorded interview. We recorded that last weekend of August, and it was a great conversation. Great guy based in Indianapolis, one of the worst places to live, I think, in the USA. But he lives in a better place right now. He lives in Europe right now. Getting to live all those hot weather, heat waves, you name it. They've had it over there in Europe compared to Indiana. So perhaps Indiana's a better place to live because they're not getting heat waves. They're not getting the flooding. They are certainly not getting the wildfires over in Europe, are they? So maybe Indiana is a better place to live. You decide. Let me know. Use the hashtag The Fowler Show. Right now, though, let's talk about some sports. Let's talk about some gossip. Let's talk about some entertainment stuff, which has come to light. Of course, it's been a fantastic weekend of both football here in the UK and, of course, American football, with the first official week of college football back on our screens on BT Sport, ESPN. Some cracking games, some brilliant games. I'm glad that Nevada Wolfpack got the win. Great game for them. Great way to kick off the season, have to say. Hopefully they can keep it up. We'll have to see what happens there. Other game I watched as well was the Alabama game. Great game by them as well. And of course, you can't forget the Oklahoma and Utah. I think it's Utah game. They were playing light blue, I think it was, and they were playing in red, obviously, because it's Oklahoma. And they did a cracking job, getting so many points. And at one stage of the game, it looked like they were actually going to win the game, because Oklahoma, the better team, obviously ranked number, I think number 2 or something like that in the US. Picking up the victory. 5 points between them, by the way. 5 points. I think it finished like 40 to 35. Just to show you there. 40 to 35 they finished, and it's a cracking game for them. But also on Saturday, we also had another interesting match. It wasn't really a competition match, but it was a bit of fun. Soccerade over here in the UK for UNICEF. It was a great match, a lot of fun, very entertaining. I loved every moment of Soccerade, and one of my favourite bits from Soccerade was seeing, we're going to go to a double screen here, is seeing Stephen Mahern here on your right, who is a TV host, magician, game show host, you name it, he does it all, the face of Saturday Night TV, have to say. And he came on as a masked singer or dancer, what you want to call that, in a costume, and the whole crowd at the Etihad, which was not the best place to host the Soccerade match. It should have been at the best stadium in the world, Old Trafford, obviously the home of Soccerade, where it all began at Old Trafford, by the way, I have to say that. But anyway, Stephen Mahern came on at half-time, and nobody knew who it was going to be. I certainly didn't think it was going to be Stephen Mahern, because earlier in the night I was discussing that it will not be Stephen Mahern because he has too much airtime on a Sunday Night TV, so I thought it probably won't be him. But of course, it has to be him, and there it was in that costume. And I didn't think he was actually going to play soccer, though. I thought he was just going to come on the pitch, get the fans motivated, get people to watch and donate and all that business. But no, he actually did play some minutes. He was going to play about 30 seconds, wasn't he? But he went the whole distance and played for 6 minutes before, it's my favourite bit, being forced off the pitch by the anyways Essex star, Mark White, I think where he came from, and Sir Mo Fowler, shoving him off the pitch, doing a bit of wrestling on Stephen Mahern. And of course we had a close-up of Stephen Mahern, went up to the can, which I thought was a bit too much, but hey ho, it's ITV, you can do what you like on ITV, can't you? And 6 minutes he lasted, and it was a highlight, I thought, of the game. He brought a lot of laughter, a lot of cheer, and even got some chants as well. Stephen. But on social media, though, people did not enjoy Stephen Mahern time on the pitch. Many people thought that again, too much of Stephen Mahern. You know, why are you dressing in this costume? All this other stuff on social media. But there you go. Stephen Mahern, the only person who can trend on Twitter on the night. The other thing I did not like is I also did tweet out on the night as well. It's a very shame I didn't get a response from either Dermot O'Leary or Alex Scott, was because they were interviewing celebrities and people who were taking part in Soccerade, and they had no microphones. The people who were being interviewed had no microphones, which I thought was very odd, because usually they have microphones, you can hear what they're bloody saying. Well, in this particular case, they weren't, and I actually wrote a tweet out saying, you know, what's going on, who are these three people, and what are they trying to say? Because, number one, the crowd behind them were very, very loud and passionate about this match. So it means they were very loud, chanting and singing onto the music as well. So that, plus that, without any microphones on them, it was very hard to understand what exactly who they were and what they were trying to answer from the questions they were given, which we could hear. So it was a disastrous pre-game hype. I'm so happy I caught the last 5 minutes or so of that pre-game. I was watching other important subjects like the college football I mentioned earlier on. Anyway, moving on from that subject, the other thing which happened at Soccerade as well was, I'm going on the wrong one now, aren't I? Also, there's wrong one as usual. Anything can happen. live. So I'm just going to remove. Is this the right one? No, that's not the right one, is it? So the other interesting thing that's happened is I'm sure many Arsenal fans might or want to dream on because it's not going to happen. Of course, the biggest Arsenal fan in the world has to be Piers Morgan. Don't forget about Piers Morgan, always tweeting and a bit bigger. I mean, you can see exactly what is said here. Piers Morgan wrote a tweet because he was watching soccer like the rest of the country was, and he said, "I take Paul Scholes in Arsenal's current midfield." Well, you can dream on, Piers Morgan. It's not going to happen because Arsenal have had an embarrassing, if that's the right word to use, embarrassing start to the season of the Premier League, with only at the bottom of the table. Can't believe I'm even saying that. Bottom of the table. With 0 points after 3 games. Wow. Embarrassment, isn't it? Embarrassment by the manager, by the board, the people who are signing them, even the players as well, because, you got to do better than that. And here's a picture, just to prove it, here on your screen, here live. A bit too big for you. Only on live we do this. Maybe it's a bit smaller. Yeah, if I can. Bear with me. Almost. So that's the table. I don't know how big that is going to be on your screen, but you see that Arsenal 20th with no points at all after 3 games. Of course, Norwich as well, and Wolves also bottom of the table. They got Newcastle just above them, who've also not been very good this season either, under Steve Bruce. In every game I've seen of theirs, immediately after the game is finished, hashtag Bruce out is trending on Twitter. I feel sorry for the Newcastle fans. I really do, because they deserve something better than the current form they're playing in at the moment. Burnley as well. I do like Burnley. I do like Thorndike. He's done a phenomenal job with Burnley the past few years, bringing them up to the Premier League, going back down with them immediately after, and then coming back up, and he's kind of fought with them. He's kind of stayed up there for the past 2 or 3 years, and then it started to fall apart for him last season, where they just got out of the regulation area, but they almost went down back to the Championship, didn't they? But if you look at that though, Burnley 17, of course, and then if we move a bit up the table, you can see Aston Villa up there, Leicester, Brighton doing quite well for themselves, Man City as well, moving to the top 3. Look at Tottenham first. I don't think that's ever been the case for Tottenham. I don't think I've ever seen them at top of the table this early in the season, or any time in the season winning for the Premier League. But you can see Tottenham there, and they're kind of 2 points behind them is, of course, West Ham. I'm liking West Ham as well. David Moyes. I like David Moyes. Good manager. Wasn't given enough time at Man United, I thought. Only brought in one player, Fellaini, if you remember that, a few years ago. And he's 7 months in the job before getting the sack. And I thought he did much better than Louis van Gaal or even Mourinho, who, of course, who played boring football, park the bus, score 1 goal and park the bus. Not the type of football I like, but there you go. And, of course, Man United is third behind West Ham. Of course, West Ham and United both have the same amount of points, different goal difference, however, but we got the same amount of points. But, it's good to see at the top of the table, though, and hopefully we can keep challenging to the Premier League. Of course, after the official announcement by United the other day about Ronaldo rejoining United, that's going to be a good throwback. You thought we would see Ronaldo back in the Premier League. It's been the craziest transfer window ever. And of course, this Friday, on the show, I am bringing on I would say an expert. He's going to be our resident expert who will break down all the big soccer news and all the latest going on. And of course, we will discuss all the latest to do with the football news, as well as, of course, the craziest transfer window ever in the history of the football world. I believe. I don't think there's ever been a more crazier football transfer window ever, to I can remember anyway. So we'll be talking about with Jared Johnson. He'll be joining the show on Friday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern on Friday. Hope you can join us for that this coming Friday, 2:15 p.m. Eastern. Be there will be squared. That's around 7:15 p.m. our time, so that's not too bad. Right into the show, we get into our discussion with him, talking all things to do with football. Should be great, shouldn't it? Can be a fantastic chat for sure. Anyway, coming up after this short 4-minute break, we'll be talking about more to do with with American football, with the first week of the NFL season going to be kicking off on Sunday, and of course kicks off on Thursday Night Football this coming Thursday with Ed Sheeran kicking it off. Great artist, great British artist as well, related to Gordon Burns, by the way. If you don't know who Gordon Burns is, Google him. Great personality for sure. But yeah, Ed Sheeran's going to kick it off on Thursday Night Football, singing his latest song on NBC. Cracking guy, and it's going to be great to see him on primetime TV, kicking off the NFL season. It'll be interesting to see as well if he actually does watch the NFL or not. We'll have to see what happens. But anyway, join us in 4 minutes for more of this very show. But I did forget to upload the video before I went live here, so I'm just going to do it right now as we speak, because I need to actually do that, of the 4-minute commercial, which we're going to show you, because there's no commercials here on the show. And speaking of music, let's move on to your newest album. You've done so many wonderful albums over the years. What is special about your latest album? And according to the website as well, it says impacting the 16th of July 2021. Could you describe what you mean by impacting? I know you did a virtual streaming of it, I believe, back in May. Is that correct?
I think it was beginning of June.
Beginning of June. Okay, my mistake.
It's okay. But we did 3 live streams also in Asia, the United States, and Europe. Gotcha. So, which Europe also included Africa, and Asia also included Australia. Oh, right. So it was a massive kind of streaming, and it went very, very well. And for me, this is my 21st album in a sense on record. And I love the idea of this. This is actually the record. And for those who buy it, because I'm still an old-fashioned guy, and I still love giving those as gifts. So I didn't do too many, because people said no one buys CDs anymore. They're throwing their CD players away. So for those who actually don't buy these, you can always download it from every single place, like Spotlight or Amazon or YouTube or wherever you want to download it from. But I think Blue Skies is actually a great gift if you want to give it to someone. And this is the actual this is like the good old-fashioned days where you have the CD on one side and the DVD on the other side. So there's a high-definition DVD of the actual show and the CD, and it has all the writers. If someone wants to read what this is about and what inspired me to make this album happen in that sense. And for me, it's very important. It's one of the most important albums in my career, because I grew up with this music, and I had it on my mind that one day I want to record, with a big band. And in fact, one of my first producer, his name is Peter Asher, who is one of the world's top producers, and he is an amazing man, a great musical guy. And in fact, it was Peter and Gordon. I don't know if you knew those two singing together. But Peter and Gordon were a duet of musicians,
Gotcha.
and they were very well known, obviously, some time ago in the 70s, I think, 80s or something like that. And now Peter still continues to perform. But in any case, he said to me, "What kind of record do you want to make?" And I said, I want to make a big band record and singing all those songs by Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. And maybe I didn't know what I was saying. And that was like in 1998, 99 or something like that. And he said, "Well, we can make that happen, but do you think there's anything else?" And I said, "Well, I know my voice is a special kind of voice, and it doesn't sing pop, and it doesn't sing just opera. And I can't be a pop singer, and I can't be an opera singer at the moment, because I'm also still studying." And but I said, I know that there's this sound. And then when I heard Andrea Bocelli, of course, sing "Time to Say Goodbye," I said, that's the kind of stuff I know I can kill right now. So of course, he said that they spoke with Peter Gelb, who was the head of the Sony Classical label in New York, and immediately Peter Gelb called me and said that they want to sign me with Sony Classical in New York. So I was very, very excited. That was the other part, the musical part, in a sense, that really excited my life, when Peter invited me to New York to sign with Sony Classical. And so the reason why I'm saying all this to you, Edward, is because I thought that, since that was my first thought, obviously it was a dream that I had in my mind, in my heart, that's what I wanted to do at some point, And I think, as Federico Garcia Lorca said, it might be late, but it's on time. And I think right now, with the experience that I've had on stage, and also singing in some very big concert halls like Madison Square Garden, like obviously Royal Albert Hall a few times, and quite a few times, performing in China and Japan and Taiwan and Africa and all over America, maybe about 300, 400 concerts in America. I felt that I was in the right position to actually sing those songs with ease, without feeling that I was actually straining my voice or killing those poor musicians who wrote those songs.
Absolutely. But yeah, what a fascinating story, I have to say. It's a great story, as well as your CD, by the way. And I still got a CD player. I can touch mine. I don't know if you can hear that noise, but that's mine. CD player. Got my speakers there as well. I'm not throwing mine away just yet. I'm a bit an old-fashioned. I like to have a CD as well sometimes to, blast it out. That was Mario Fungolis on the Edward Fowler show. I believe it was back in, I think, May or June of this year when we had him on the show. We're back here on the Fowler show. It's Monday, the 6th of September, 2021. Good afternoon to you all, or good morning, depending where you are in the world. We're back here. Lovely screenshot of our lovely background. Again, people liking it as well, which we like. We hope you had the new graphics we're posting on social media. You can check them out on our social media there. Facebook, Edward Fowler Show. Twitter _, Edward Fowler _, and of course on Instagram, Edward Fowler Show. It's now coming up to about 20 minutes away from when our guest today joining our show, Ty McBride, will be joining us in 20 minutes time. Looking forward to having him on. And speaking of music, let's move on to... Let's not do that. There you go. All these errors, we'll get them fixed as we go, as we do more of these in the week as we come on. Of course, this is the first premiere of the Fowler Show, and the actual show of the show, because of course usually our show is only 1 hour long, with only one guest per time when we're live every now and then. But we thought, well, let's do it on a weeknight basis around this time. Of course, as I mentioned before, we're going to be not going to 9 o'clock our time, because I think that's a bit too long. So we're just going to go as long as I want to go. So if I want to go maybe an hour, that's fine. Maybe 2 hours, that's fine. Maybe 3 hours, that's fine. But I don't want to drag it out. Anyway, moving on from that, we were talking before about soccer and about American football coming up after the break. Well, let's talk about the football because they released the schedule for the football as well. So let's check that out. On your screen, I can make it a bit bigger actually because it's not taking over the screen like the Premier League was. So as you can see, in week 1 is all these games happening in week 1. I just need to go to my trash because why not? Because I need to go and get something else. I can't read that off my screen, so I'm going to cheat a little bit and actually open it up here on my computer. So this is the week 1 of the NFL season, National Football League here. It kicks off 8 p.m. 8:20 p.m. Eastern. That's 1:20 our time. It will be the Cowboys, the Dallas Cowboys against the Buccaneers, the Tampa Bay Bucks, who of course the defending Super Bowl champs, who won it of course back in February this year, not March, had a bit of a while ago. And then of course the other games are on Sunday. Lots of games on Sunday on the Red Zone. If you watch Red Zone on Sky Sports Mix, it's gonna be great with Scott Hansen. You got the Eagles, they're playing on Sunday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. UK time on Fox. Get him, Fox. Great game on Fox. I don't know who they're playing, however. I don't recognize that. It might be the Cardinals, the Arizona Cardinals. Then you've got the Steelers as well. They're playing against, I believe, that looks like the Jets. So that's like the Jets there. Then we've got the New York Jets against the Panthers. Of course, we had on a great Panther guy on the show last year called Jack Taylor, a huge Panthers fan. Get the words right. Panthers fan. I'm sure he'd be rooting on for them to win, but I don't think they will win. New York Jets will easily win. Let me just go back a bit. I didn't give you my predictions for who's going to win each game. The Buccaneers, I think they will win on Thursday night. With, of course, Ed Sheeran will be there as well, singing to get things off. I think the Cardinals, if that is the Cardinals who are playing the Eagles, I think the Cardinals will win that game. And I think Steelers will win against the Jets there on CBS. And you just heard my prediction for the Jets against the Panthers. The Jets will win that one easy peasy. Then we've got the Vikings against the Bengals. I'm going to go with the Vikings on that one. Again, I've not seen the preseason. We don't get the preseason games over here. All we get is highlights. I don't watch highlights. I like to see the majority of the game before I make my mind up. And of course, preseason, it's rubbish anyway. They don't actually put out the full squads. They just put out people who the coaches. They put out players to see who they want to keep and who they're going to get rid of, basically, who gets released. And of course, when the XFL returns in about 2 years' time, I'm sure we'll see a lot more of those players on the XFL. I never know. We might bring on some of them onto this show as well. We've got to bring on some more XFL players. I love the XFL back when it was out about a year ago. Can't believe it's been over a year now since that happened. But yeah, so the Vikings will win that one, I think. Then we've got the San Francisco against the Lions. I think the 49ers will win that game for definitely against the Lions. My prediction. Let's see. Then we've got the Jacksonville Jags against the Texans. I think, the Jacksonville Jags, I think they'll win that game. They had a terrible season last year, didn't they? And they were the worst team in the NFL, because of always, as this goes, the worst team gets the number 1 draft pick of the next year NFL draft. And that's why I know that, because the Jacksonville Jags have got the best quarterback now. And I believe and I think the Jags will win this first game. And they've also got Urban Myers as their coach. So huge experience there from Urban Myers. Even though in the preseason, I'll say it again, in the preseason, no team is putting out their best squads because it's preseason football. Number 1. Number 2, they're laying out all the youngest to see who belongs to stay and who unfortunately get fired, gets released. But yes, I've heard that they've been doing quite poorly in the preseason, but Jacksonville Jags, I think, will win on the first Sunday of the new season. I just got something about that. I think they're going to show the doubters wrong that was preseason football, and this is our time to shine and to show people that we're now rebuilt, got a better quarterback, got a better coach, and this is how we're going to win the Super Bowl. Maybe not this year, maybe not next year, but I think in the next few years there could be Super Bowl potential. Then we've got the Seahawks. They're playing. I do not know who the U logo is. I'm not going to say anything about that game, apart from I think the Seahawks will win. The Seattle Seahawks, to be matter of fact with you. Then we've got, I think that's the Cardinals there, who are playing Tennessee at 1 p.m. Eastern on CBS. I think that's the Cardinals. I think that's the Arizona Cardinals. I think it is. But I'm going to go with Tennessee Titans. Now, they've been doing quite well in the preseason football, haven't they? And there's been a lot of rumours that they could be Super Bowl contenders this season. Imagine, Tennessee Titans. Could be an impressive season for those. So we'll keep an eye on those as well. And of course, next Monday, we'll bring you all the results, all the feedback, all the breakdowns from all the games, and as well, my predictions of this game I got correct and this game I didn't get correct. Because you never know, I could got them all right, or maybe get half right, and then you could think, wow, I should have bet on that game because he said he's going to win. So we'll see. Anyway, moving on. Then we got, of course, the Seahawks. The Chargers against the Washington football team. Now, of course, they've unveiled, I think they've unveiled the new name for the Washington football club. So I'll have to do some digging about that. But I think the Chargers, the LA Chargers, will win that game. Of course, good team. Of course, they're in LA. Obviously, I'll support an LA team. But I think they'll win that game easily. I think Washington may give them some interesting challenges in defense, but I think mostly the Chargers will win that one. So I'm going to go with the Chargers on that one for sure. And then as well, we've got the Chiefs. They're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know who they're playing at 4:25 p.m. Eastern on CBS. That's 9:25 our time. I don't recognize the helmet, unfortunately. When I see him on TV, I know who it is, but look at his helmets. I can't recognize them all. But I'm doing quite well for the ones I can remember. I'm going to go with the Chiefs for that one. They're going to win outright, and that's just going to be it, really. That's my prediction for you that one, on that game. Then we've got the Dolphins and the Patriots, the New England Patriots. Of course, just recently, the New England Patriots released Cam Newton as well, so that's interesting. He's not a very good player. Obviously, that's why they released him. But the question is now, I think everyone wants to know in the sporting world, where will Cam Newton go? And if I just quickly Google Cam Newton, of course, we've got about 10 minutes before our guest joins us, by the way. Should be good. Cam Newton, he's a quarterback, but they released him. So, according to this, former Patriots linebacker says Mac Jones was helping Cam Newton learn the New England playbook. That's an interesting one, isn't it? So he was, helping him out, trying to get used to the way things are done in New England, but obviously it didn't work out. He may not have been given enough time to get used to and pick it up in a fast-paced which the New England Patriots want him to learn. But the question will be now, who is going to take over Cam Newton at the Patriots, and how will they perform? Will they perform better than they have done so far, or what? So we'll see. He's only 32. He's from Atlanta, Georgia. So we'll see where he goes next. No news about that just yet, but of course when it comes, we'll bring it to you on the air, or even off the air. We'll bring it to you anyway. And but I think the Dolphins, Miami Dolphins, welcome to Miami. I think they'll win that game. I will go with New England Patriots if Tom Brady was still there, obviously, but it's not there. So I tip New England Patriots. Still going to be interesting to see the second season without Tom Brady at New England, so we'll see what happens. They didn't do very well last season without him, and I always said whatever team gets Tom Brady, they're going to win, and that's what exactly happened last season when he went to the Buccaneers. He won there, basically, with the Gronk as well, who followed him over to the Buccaneers from New England Patriots as well. Despite coming out of retirement, he did kind of retire, didn't he? He get some back injury stuff, then to WWE, did WrestleMania behind closed doors, hosted there, the Gronk party, remember all that business, and then of course he made his return out of retirement, didn't he, and helped the Buccaneers to win the Super Bowl this past year. So yeah, Dolphins will win that one. Then we got the Green Bay Packers, who my cousin supports randomly, don't know why. She did tell me the reason for that, but I can't remember, ages ago. So Green Bay Packers, they're playing on Fox, so lucky Fox getting the Green Bay Packers. As much as I do not like the Green Bay Packers, I think they're going to win on Sunday, 4:25 p.m., 9:25 our time, only on Fox and on Red Zone. Then also we got the New York Giants. They're playing, aren't they, as well? We got the New York Giants. They are playing. I do not know who that logo is, but I think the Giants will win as well. Then we come to Sunday Night Football, the biggest game of the night. The Bears play the Rams, and you know what you're going to pick here, don't you? Say earlier on, it's going to be the LA Rams. Of course, it's going to be the LA Rams. A great team from a fantastic city. The Rams will win that game on Sunday Night Football. Now, I should have mentioned to you, shouldn't I? I should have mentioned to you. Actually, no, I am actually correct, yeah. And then on Monday Night Football at 8:15 p.m. Eastern, now there's usually 2 games on a Sunday. So there's normally 2 games on a Monday. I'm not sure why there's only just 1, so that's a bit bizarre. But usually there's 2 games on a Monday night. This year, at the moment, according to this picture I'm showing you, it doesn't look to be there's 2 games, but it looks like we got the Baltimore Ravens and the Las Vegas Raiders. Of course, if you know me by now, if you've been watching this show for the past year, I've been having a background of the Raiders city behind me. So, you know, all these time I've been supporting the Las Vegas Raiders, haven't I? So obviously I'm going to go with them to win the game, and I think they're going to win. Las Vegas Raiders to win the first game, and it's on the best network, ESPN, with on Monday Night Football, only on ESPN. Can't wait for that. This coming, of course, next Monday. Oh, can't wait for that. Week tonight, can't wait, because I can always give my new prediction for that game as well. But it all kicks off this Thursday. It's going to be awesome with a great team, the Cowboys and the Buccaneers. This Thursday with Ed Sheeran as well. I should also mention, before we do go to my guest, who is waiting, we'll bring you his interview in a few moments' time from our conversation, which was pre-recorded. It was recorded last weekend. I forgot to show you one picture, and that is to do with the Premier League. Of course, we like the Premier League, and of course, we will bring you other leagues as well in the future. And don't forget, we haven't forgotten. I haven't forgotten about the Argentinian game either, which happened. Which was an extraordinary set of circumstances. I feel sorry for the fans of Argentina and the other team who came out to watch a game and the qualifiers, which was the World Cup, I think it was, yesterday. And within 7 minutes of the game, it's not funny, but I mean, I can't stop laughing about it. But health officials coming on the pitch, removing 4 players who apparently did not, and I will say did not quarantine when they entered Brazil. So they were taken off the pitch, obviously, and I think, I could be wrong, I think they were shipped on a plane and sent back to the countries they came through to get to Brazil. Because what you have to do is when you enter Brazil, you have to quarantine for 14 days. These players didn't do it. They arrived on Friday, and they joined the team for the game on Sunday. So, oh, hell broke loose there, didn't they? And we'll be talking about that with Jared Johnson on Friday as well, to see what he thought about the whole scenario and everything else to do with that thing. And if it will get rescheduled, I have to say, hopefully it will get rescheduled, but we have to see about that. Quickly though, this is the Premier League highlights, Premier League football for this weekend. The football is back on UK TV after the international break, and we got some great games there on Saturday. Crystal Palace and Spurs on BT Sport. So my prediction for that game, Spurs to win, obviously. Easy team, easy game, men against boys. So Spurs win that one. I'm going to say maybe 2-0. I'm going to be on the easy side. Could be about 6-0 to all I know, but I just think it'll be 2-0. Then we've got Arsenal against Norwich. Now, someone asked me about this game the other day, and I thought, I'm going with Arsenal. But after 3 defeats, I'm still going to go with Arsenal to win that game against Norwich. Maybe 2-0 as well. Maybe 2-1, actually. 2-1, I think. 2-1 against there. And then we got Man United against Newcastle. Now, before the news broke about Ronaldo coming back, I did think that Steve Bruce had a chance at maybe drawing with United, because don't forget, we drew against Southampton, didn't we, a few weeks ago? So if we, we're not doing that very well, are we? If we're drawing against Southampton, if we got to bring back a club legend to try and help us, then there's a bit of a problem. But there you go. So I thought Steve Bruce was probably thinking that he might have an easy, not an easy game, but a bit more of a chance to try and draw with us. But with the new Ronaldo coming back, and he could debut again for us against Newcastle next this coming Saturday, I feel sorry for Steve Bruce, because I think it's going to be a belter of a game for us. I think United will win. I'm going to say maybe 5-0. That's what I think. 5-0 United this coming Saturday. Could be completely wrong, but we'll see what happens there. But United 5-0. So we'll see. And then to end the day, we've got Chelsea against Aston Villa on Sky Sports. It's a shame that United not on TV, by the way. It's a shame we won't see that live if we do see Ronaldo coming on the pitch. But that's a shame, isn't it? But yeah, so Chelsea against Aston Villa, 5:30 kickoff on Sky Sports. Easy game again. Easy game for Chelsea. This is against Aston Villa. Aston Villa have been doing quite well for themselves at the moment after 3 games. This is the 4th week, of course. But Chelsea will win this. Easy peasy. I say 3-0. Now on Sunday, they've only got 1 game on. Usually there's 3 games on, isn't it? Lunchtime, 2 o'clock, and then the 4 o'clock game. 2 or 3 are on. But this weekend, it's just 1 game. Leeds against Liverpool. Now, this is quite a good game. This is going to be on Sunday. Tell you for sure. Going to be a good game for sure. I think it's going to be quite tight. I think it'll be quite tight game, I think. Right, choose here who's going to win or lose or draw, they'll say. But I think it'll be a draw. Maybe 1-1 or 2-1, maybe. But I think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be a good game, though. Good competitive game. Good tackling. All that good stuff. We'll see what happens on that game. And then, of course, to end the week off, we've got Monday Night Football. Everton against Burnley on Sky Sports as well on Monday night, 8 p.m. kickoff. If you're a Scouser fan, then, of course, Everton's going to win. If you're a Burnley fan, then obviously Burnley might have a chance to win. But with Rafael Benitez, as the manager, as the coach, I think Everton will definitely win that one. Unfortunately, I don't think Burnley got a chance. Even with Sondijk, I don't think they got a chance to win that one against Everton. So we'll see what happens, because that's a week today, by the way. Everton against Burnley. Again, I might give you a different prediction by then. Yeah, after the other games go, I might give you a completely different prediction, or I could give you the same prediction. But you have to tune in next Monday to see what my prediction will be. But there you go. That's all you need to know about the latest sports news regarding about that. It's now time for my guest to come on the show. So we'll now bring you that. I'll just find out what I'm gonna do. So we'll now bring him on, and we're now going. We're going to take a commercial, but I thought there's no point. So ignore where I say welcome back, because we're not gone anywhere. But enjoy this conversation. We're back on the Fowler show after that commercial. I call it a commercial. You can call it whatever you like. We've got the first guest on this brand new weeknight edition of the show. I don't know how long this will last, but we can give this a go. So we have got a guy from Indiana, but he doesn't live in Indiana at the moment. He is in Europe, and he can tell us whereabouts in Europe he is, because this will be the first American join the show from overseas for once. Would be a bit different for spice it up for the first one ever. He works as the co-owner of Honored Pro Wrestling, but he's also a part of another company in New Jersey called Wrestle New Jersey. It's in the name, quite easy to remember, and you can find all those on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and whatnot, and I'm sure he will be plugging the heck out of those two companies when we get introducing into him in a few moments. If you don't know who I'm talking about yet, and this is your first time ever seeing this, then his name is Ty McBride, and he joins us right now. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. This is crazy, man. After 4 years of talking through like Twitter DMs and Facebook Messenger, the fact that we are finally actually able to do a show is pretty cool.
Yeah, I know. I feel like I'm stalking you, because like I first reached out to you on Twitter, then I transferred to you on Instagram, and then on Facebook. So yeah, I'm stalking you. So I apologize for that. I chat anywhere, but yeah, after I think about 4 years, 2017, I think it was when I reached out to you on Twitter, and
might have even been earlier than that.
Yeah,
I think it was like 26. I think it was only 16 at the time, because I was just getting into the business too.
Got yeah, okay, because we're the same age. Just so you know, in case you're thinking, why is he contacting a 16-year-old? I am the same age as Ty. I'm a few months older than Ty. This is.
Are you now?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm about to turn 22 here in a little bit.
Yeah, September, isn't it your birthday? I'll just give it out now. I can edit.
Correct.
I can edit it out if you don't want me to include that. But because I'm 3 months older than you.
So you're already 22 then?
Yeah, I've been 22 for 3 months. I've been recording this, so yeah, I've been 4 months in September. So yeah, I'm already. But I mean, you've done more stuff than I've done. You know, you've got the chance to meet some interesting people.
Hey man, I've tried. Oh yeah, I've met quite a few interesting people in my time in the business. You know, I started at 16 years old, referee, doing basic, behind the scenes locker room bullshit, carrying people's bags, working security, working sound, doing all the stuff where I'm completely out of sight from the fans. And so now at 21 years old, owning a company, being a GM in that company, and then also I've appeared on IWTV a couple times, worked with Matt Tremont, H2O, did some commercials. Like I said, that appeared on IWTV and on YouTube. And yeah, it's definitely been a roller coaster of a ride. My newest project has been Wrestle New Jersey, which you brought up before. Basically a little clips channel. My best friend Trevor, he is the mastermind behind it all, and I just kind of help with the background stuff. He's the one out there boots on the ground, getting the clips, posting them, doing all that cool stuff.
Nice to hear. Of course, if nobody has, because this is a kind of global. Well, I won't say global, not global yet, but we've had on some interesting people. We get some interesting audiences coming on here. So I don't know who subscribed to this channel. So we've got a bit of it, because this is not just a wrestling show like it used to be showed as, but of course we do as well entertainment side. So I call it sports and entertainment, not sports entertainment. I'm not copying anybody that way, but
we don't play that sports entertainment around here.
Yeah. Well, just for people who might not understand what IWTV is, could you give a brief introduction to people?
Yeah, so IWTV is an app and also a website. It's got independent wrestling from all across the world. Like, I think it's over 100 different promotions.
Oh, wow.
HPW's there soon, hopefully. So, we're working on it. But it's literally $9.99 a month to watch all the best independent wrestling, whether that's death matches, Japanese. They even have like old school battle arts and like Jersey All Pro. Anything you like as a wrestler or as a fan of professional wrestling is going to be on IWTV.
Almost slipped up there, but yeah, we get what you meant. But of course, as well, we will now go a bit back, because you kind of did us a whole recap of where you came from to where you are currently. Very quick if you like, but so I will now tell the audience, my audience, and hopefully your audience, so hopefully will subscribe to this channel, like this video, share it around, tell them that this is the A place to be, where you get a mixture of celebrities and unknown guys. So hopefully we'll become stars one day.
Like me, unknown like
me. Exactly. But so I think it was 2016 when I reached out to you. I can't remember if I had somebody reach out to you to say, hey, this chap is going to contact you or something. I can't remember. But I followed you on Twitter, and then I may have tweeted at you as well, maybe, depending. And then you followed me back, and then I DM'd you because I saw a show which you were involved in. I can't remember what show it was, but it was somewhere in Indiana.
Man, I wish I could remember, but all I remember is that it was for Pro Wrestling King, who was the first company I started with at the time.
Got you. Yeah, that's right. Okay, I was good to know. Pro Wrestling King, yeah, that's fine. I couldn't remember what company it was. I wasn't sure if it was them or somebody else. Let's go shout out to Pro Wrestling King. So I saw you on a show on there with a guy who knows the owner very well, and I think I might have contacted him.
Oh yeah, my buddy AJ.
Yeah. So I think I contacted through him to you. I can't remember. Anyway, so I DM'd you, and then we started discussing about that and about the shows and stuff. Because again, I watched their shows on YouTube, and I thought I never seen you before, so I wanted to get in contact with yourself. I like your work at the time there, I have to say. And then we got chatting, and of course I wanted you to be on a show, a different show at the time, which you declined politely, I have to say, because I think you said that you're quite new and didn't want to do anything at the moment. So we left it at that.
Yeah, I just felt like at the time I was so new in the business that I was literally nobody. Like, I was a 16-year-old kid working security and referee. I was not anything. I didn't earn anything in the business yet. So I was like, let me hold off on this until I at least have maybe not so much sort of a name, but at least a solid background I can go off.
Yeah. Don't blame me for that. So I did kept, I didn't take no as an answer, so I kept trying him every few months to see if he changed his mind. But the same answer was no. And then...
and now we're here 5 years later.
Yeah. Well, the funny thing was, I didn't reach out to you. You actually just messaged me saying, did you need a podcast guest? And I was like, I do, maybe, depending who you want. And then you mentioned yourself, so I thought, okay, why not? I've been trying to get you on it for 5 years, so better now than never, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been reaching out to a lot of people, just trying to, get my name, get my brands out there. Honored Pro Wrestling, Wrestle in New Jersey, and I'm just really trying to make a name for myself in the business. I am overseas right now. I do live in Germany currently.
Guten Tag.
I'll be back in the States. I'll be back in the States, hopefully within like the next year or so. So
forever?
Just trying to set that solid groundwork. Yes, hopefully forever.
Oh, wow.
Unless, I do some cool stuff and travel to another country for a show.
Oh, good. Okay.
But just basically trying to set that groundwork. That way, as soon as I get there, I can just hit the ground running and already kind of have a base to build off of.
Yeah, I don't blame for that. Again, this guy got some connections, so I want to reconnect with. So hopefully you can, after this, you can connect me with some people I want to reconnect with to bring back on this show. And I'll tell you who they are in a little bit. So you were doing, some shows in PWK. You then, I think you did another show because you posted a picture, which I might add in post editing. There might be a picture appearing on the screen of yourself in referee gear with another guy who unfortunately passed away a few years ago. You know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
Tell us about that show and tell us about what that picture means to you now, because at the time it might not have meant as much as it does now when reflecting back at how much fun times you had with that particular person.
Yeah. So that was once again a Pro Wrestling King show, but I believe they collabed with like Revolution Pro Wrestling, maybe another company. It was like a local Indiana super show. So like a couple different companies had representatives. And yeah, that was one of my first shows. And that person I took a picture with was Adam Bueller, who just got that mask. If you put up the photo, you can see. So he was taking pictures, everybody showing it off. And, I was brand new to the business. So I was super cheesy about it. It was totally a mark picture for me, even though I was, in my referee gear and it was backstage. But, yeah, man, that photo, it means so much to me. After we lost him to cancer a while ago, him and I have a lot of memories in the locker room and at shows, but that picture is the only like physical proof, I guess you would say. And yeah, he means so much to everybody in the Northern Indiana professional wrestling community. At Honor Pro Wrestling, we have an entire division, which I am the GM of, called the Carnage Division. And it is our like hardcore, maybe a little bit of death match, but on the actual belt, it's a picture. There's a picture of Adam and his mask, and it says "Forever Bueller." Every time we have a Carnage match, like a match for the title, we always do a 10-bell salute to him. He meant the absolute world to me and everybody around him. He was truly a blessing to this world, and to this day, I still get upset, and I still reflect back on the good times we had because, the way he went was cancer. He'd already beaten cancer once, and it came back, and he got it again. And unfortunately, he just couldn't kick out. But yeah, I literally cannot even express how much he means to me and everybody else. He was just such a cool, genuine human being and an amazing wrestler. He was really about to hit his stride. He just needed to get on a few bigger shows, and people could have seen how much, not only potential, but how great he actually was.
Yeah, I agree. And so now we'll say his name because I didn't know his name before. So good plug. I do hope that you guys do some more great things in the memory of Adam on future shows of HPW. So
yeah, if nobody's ever seen Adam Bueller, please go to YouTube and look him up. Dude was absolutely amazing. He's got some good matches with Josh Crane and Dale Patricks. Just please go out of your way to look him up. He's been in Crimson Crown Wrestling, a couple deathmatch tournaments. Once again, IWTV. Check it out.
Good plugs, and again, please do check him out, and you can see why he was very well liked and respected in the Indiana area for sure. So I could be wrong, but this is what I think what happened is. So after you did these shows, you then joined a job which now takes you overseas. Is that correct?
Yes, I was working in the business as a referee, for a few years as a teenager. I had 2 jobs at the time, so I wasn't doing it every weekend. It was really spotty, but
yeah, I know that
ended up
because
going
it was like you were there for like a week and then you disappeared for like maybe another month or so, and
for like
then,
2 or 3 weeks.
yeah, and then you showed up again. It's like, okay, I thought this guy had enough, kind of thing. One show was enough for him, but no, okay, that's good to know. But yeah, so you had 2 jobs. This is of course, as I would say, very typical.
Yeah, as a teenager, while I was going to high school, so like my time was super limited, and right after high school, I joined the Army. I was out of wrestling I was out of business for about a year and a half, and then one day I had my buddy Matt Starr, a former Indiana wrestler. He's like, "Hey, I'm starting up this company. Is there any way you'd like to be involved?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, totally." So, I took over social media. I did the promotions, and obviously my role now is much bigger. I went from just doing social media to now I'm a co-owner. I'm the GM of the Carnage division. I'm also booking full shows or part of shows for us, talking to the workers. I'm doing basically all the background stuff except for actually physically being at the show because, I am in Germany.
Well,
so I'm just doing whatever I can.
Well, I won't interrupt you because believed you were there earlier this year. Didn't end well for you, and you went packing back to Germany, back to where you should belong, didn't you? So
yeah, I was there for one show. Did not turn out the best for me. HPW got invaded by a faction called War Inc. And Matt Starr, our main guy, went out to the ring. So, I'm a ride with my guys. Followed him out there. Then got in there. I was like, oh shit, I'm not a wrestler. Got my ass beat by Megan DeFrancisco. Shout out to her, man. She is freaking tough. And then Modern Day Shaman grabbed 2 light tubes, smashed them over my head. I still have glass stuck in my body to this day. Like, it was, and it's funny because I don't know if you can see this or not, but I actually got a broken light tube as a tattoo because, death matches are like my entire life. And yeah, I thought I used to want to be a wrestler eventually, and then I took those light tubes. I was like, you know what? The background stuff might just be for me.
Yeah, you do, in my opinion, prefer. I think you should stay as a backstage guy.
Yeah, it certainly hurts a whole lot less.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot less.
Definitely, I agree there. But that's my opinion. Of course, people can use the hashtag, the Fowler Show, and they can either join in the live chat as well. But for right this moment, though, you're going to hate me for this, but it's time to take a commercial. Join us in 4 minutes for the continuation of this great interview here on the Fowler Show. Stay tuned. Again, this show is not being shown in the UK, to my knowledge. It's called, Games of Talents. What is that show, and how did you get involved in being a part of that?
Yes, so some of the America's Got Talent producers recommended me to this show, Game of Talents, and it's a contest show where I had to wear my normal clothes and answer some questions, and the contestants have to guess what my job is. And they give them some clues, they give them some hints, they try to throw them off. And so basically it's a game show, not for me as a performer, but for contestants. They're trying to guess, they meet me as a normal person with just my first name, and they have to guess what my job is, and then we reveal the job by doing a performance. So they have to, I think they thought my secret hidden talent was a human fireball. I have no idea what it is.
I don't.
I'm not a human fireball, but that's what they thought my talent was. So they were surprised, and they did not win the money when I performed my illusion.
Oh, that's a shame, isn't it? But oh well, it seems like a lot of fun though. But I mean, could we ever see an act, someone do a fireball of that nature in one of your future acts, maybe?
Well, I do have a lot of pyrotechnics in my show, and I've had unfortunately some close calls before, and I have a hoop. A flaming hoop of fire that I pass over my floating assistant, and I've got flamethrowers in the show. And I even did a thing where the closest I got to being a human fireball myself, I was hanging upside down from a burning rope, and I had to escape in a straitjacket.
Oh,
and that's something I never want to do.
I've seen something like that, and they're quite dangerous, aren't they? Those kind of ones, where
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. What would you say you maybe your top 5 most dangerous acts you've done so far, and are you willing to do any more dangerous acts in the future?
Willing to do more? Probably not. I like life way too much. I don't want to be, I don't want to be too much of a risk taker. I want to enjoy life to the fullest.
Of course,
so
I don't blame you.
I think just being in show business is a risk of itself. Being in this crazy industry is a risk. But I'm trying to think. Anything with fire is always a risk. I've got an illusion where I cut myself in half with a laser. And that is my most difficult illusion. And the first time I performed, I actually dislocated my shoulder really bad. And so I had to finish the rest of the show. And it was such bad pain, I had tears coming down my eyes. But luckily, I went and saw my chiropractor, who's amazing, and within seconds, it was all back to good and no pain. But that was challenging. But just for overall, the size of my show is so large that just the scale and the size of these illusions and the scenery can be dangerous. They're moving around at top speed, so the entire cast and crew in my show has to be totally focused and totally in line on every detail of the show as it's moving so quickly. Otherwise, I myself or anyone else could get run over by scenery, or I might perform. Like the thing I did on AGT. I'm on a tower. I'm like 12 feet in the air. Just the height of that is dangerous. So everything I do has an inherent risk of danger just from the scale and then the pace of the show.
I get you there. A lot of moving parts, as you say. How do you go about then as well, like finding the right people to be a part of your show? Then do you have like auditions, or do you have a team of scouts?
We do. For the dancers, we've got marvelous dancers. We've done auditions in New York City, and we've been lucky. We'll have maybe 300 dancers show up, and we're only looking for 3 or 4. And they, that we hire dancers to be my magic assistants and part of the illusions too. And then the crew, we've met them different places. If we see them working in a different production, we see how we look for work ethic. We look for professionalism and those qualities. So we hire people based on those factors often.
Well, why not? Why not? But I mean, that's a good turnout though for dancers and whatnot, and it shows you how much they're willing to put their bodies on the line for entertainment as well, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
Have you had anybody be a bit nervous when you approach them about we're going to do this, and when it goes very well first time around in the when you practice it before you're doing it live in front of an audience, and it goes when you do it a second time, maybe just make sure it's on key. And it goes a bit wrong or something, or they get a bit more nervous. Does that ever happen, or is everyone?
I mean, there's always nerves, even myself, when we work on something new. But the thing is, when we rehearse something new, we don't just rehearse it going right. We also try to brainstorm and think of every possible thing that could go wrong, so that everyone on the team knows what the backup plan is. So if something happens wrong in a live show, because eventually, when we do hundreds and thousands of shows, something will go wrong at some point. It's inevitable. But we always like to have a backup plan so everyone knows that if this goes wrong, here's what we do, or here's what we do, or here's this other plan. Because that way the show must go on, and we want to make it happen without the audience really knowing about it.
Yeah, that's true. And again, as I see most things as well, like most people, including yourself, I'm sure, do a very good job at hiding the fact that something didn't go to plan, but nobody really knows it because you do a very good job at keeping it under covers.
Yeah, when I was a kid, one of my mentors said to me, the difference between a professional and an amateur is how well you cover your mistakes.
There you go. That's some good advice, by the way. It is some good advice. And speaking about your idols as well, then who did you look up to when you first got into it?
So before I got into magic, my heroes were and still are Walt Disney, people like Steven Spielberg and Jim Henson. And so I consider them magicians and wizards in their own way, even though you wouldn't probably consider them a magician. But for me, they create magic, they create wonder. So they're they're people I look up to. As far as the magic world, the first magician I saw, he eventually became my mentor and one of my best friends. His name is Kirby Van Birch. And I still keep in touch with him. In fact, I talked to him yesterday. He's retired now, but he undisputedly one of the greatest stage magicians ever. And I don't think I would have gotten hooked on magic if I hadn't seen his show.
We're back after that 4-minute break. I'd also mention as well that this wasn't your first time back in the US, because a few years ago, sometime after you joined the army, you reappeared. I think you, oh no, it might have been before you went to the to join the army, but you were at H2O Wrestling Company as a manager for Mance Warner, who I had the privilege of having on this very show.
Oh yeah, for
many years ago
for CZW.
Yeah,
actually,
yeah,
for Combat Zone Wrestling at Tournament of Death. Yeah. So fun fact, I was actually supposed to graduate high school that day, and I skipped my high school graduation to fly out to New Jersey to go attend Tournament of Death.
Yeah, why? Why didn't you just go and enjoy your day with your friends who you may never see again?
Because I was like, oh, Tournament of Death, I'm going to the Army. I might never get to go to this again. And, as we know, as of right now, CZW no longer exists. So it was actually perfect timing. But yeah, that was honestly the greatest day of my life. That was actually when I met my best friend, Trevor, in real life. We kind of had a similar thing where we actually met over Instagram on a deathmatch page, and we were talking in DMs for, I think, like 2 or 3 years.
Wow.
Before we finally went out there. But yeah, I got front row seats, had Jimmy Lloyd throw a chair at me, drop tubes off a scaffold on top of me. But definitely the highlight and probably greatest moment of my life is when I got to hop the guardrail during Mance Warner's entrance and wipe his boots, because at the time his gimmick was he'd have like a fan wipe his boots. So yeah, that was, man, that's what reignited my love for wrestling.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad Mance Warner doesn't do that anymore, by the way, because he's improved since then. Because I had him on the show, wasn't on this very channel. There's a few clips, maybe even a clip of his episode about him talking quite nasty about Selena De La Renta. But it's on this channel, Mance Warner.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You saw that. Yeah, you saw that clip. But yeah, he's been on this show. Yes, we've had the crazy Mance Warner, the beer drinker, on this show. He does follow me on Twitter. That does not mean.
Yeah, it's funny because I actually have a Mance Warner flag in my room, and it says "In Mancer We Trust," and it's the American flag with him bleeding. Shout out to Double Hell, the people that made it. Double Hell is now known as Deathmatch Worldwide, if I'm not mistaken. So, for all things Deathmatch related, definitely check out Deathmatch Worldwide.
Yeah, most definitely. As well, good plug for them. Hopefully give them some exposure and see some people going to their website and all their good stuff on social media and whatnot. But I mean, will we ever see Mance Warner in the same place as yourself again anytime soon in the future?
Man, we've had amongst our team at HPW, we've talked about having Mance Warner. That man is on a fucking tear right now. His schedule is so busy, and I promise everybody the second that we can get him in, we are going to try our very best. He's popped off these last 3 years, spent a lot of time on the East Coast, GCW, and, the then CZW. So, yeah, we're just hoping for his schedule to clear up so he can come out to little old Indiana and raise some hell. Well,
yeah, it makes sense, because the only person who can bring him to Indiana is you, because, well, I could if I wanted to, but I don't own a wrestling company, so I can't really do that. But I mean, I do follow him. He does follow me on Twitter. The only thing is he doesn't read his DMs, so it's a shame. So I don't know if he responds to you or not. But
yeah, we've known each other for about 5 years now. He was actually at the first show I ever started refereeing and training at. So him and I have talked a little bit. I haven't talked to him recently. It's definitely been a few years. I think the last time I actually talked to him personally was probably, CZW's Tournament of Death. But yeah, he's a great guy. Definitely another dude you need to check out. Absolutely crazy. If you're a deathmatch fan, he's your guy.
Yeah, it is. And of course, he can also do regular wrestling as well, as we saw on MLW. many years ago.
Yes.
As well. So he can do the mixture, you know. If you don't like him in deathmatch, and I'm sure you can check him out at another show where you will see him doing suitable things which would be to your cup of tea. That's what I will say.
Yeah, if you're not a deathmatch fan, what's wrong with you, y'all? Like, deathmatches are my entire life. There's honestly, I feel like deathmatches get too much hate. Deathmatches are beautiful. There's a special art to it. Unfortunately, some people in the deep south of the United States in the backyards think it's just hack and slash, swing things and cut people with things. I promise you that's not it. There is true art in death matches. Check out Mance Warner, Nick Gage, Matt Tremont, Ricky Shane Page, Alex Colon, Drew Parker. Those are some of the top guys in the world. And if you are trying to get into death matches, those are the guys that you need to check out.
Yes, you should. Maybe not so much one of those people you mentioned. I'm not going to name who it is. You probably know who I'm talking about. But we will leave it at that, I believe. So your plans here is to return to the US forever from next year. Is that because you're going to do more things at home, or will you be doing stuff with the army still? Or can you give any teasers at this?
Yeah, I got about a year left after this releases. So, you know, I'll be in wherever. I still don't even know yet, but definitely when I'm out in 2023, I'm hitting the ground full speed ahead in independent wrestling.
What are you gonna do?
So if y'all know the cast, I'm gonna do whatever I can, man. I'm going to referee, backstage, book, promote, run sound, do social media, do commercials, whatever I can do, I will do. You know, I'm able to edit video, record video, edit audio, make radio commercials. There's nothing I can't do. And I want to be able to do as much as I can for whoever in the world of independent wrestling.
So, for people who are listening and watching this, I just got this to throw at you as well. When you say mix audio and whatnot, so means you could make let's say a jingle, for instance. Could that is that correct? You could do something like that.
I mean, I can't sing, but I can give it a shot.
Well, I mean, it doesn't be like a singing jingle. It could just be, you know, you could just mix some random. Never be heard before music with your voice on it is what I meant, not like a singing voice kind of thing.
Yeah. So with that, I've worked with Hardcore Hustle Organization, also known as H2O, Matt Tremont's company. I've done 3 commercials for him, all of which have ended up on YouTube and on IWTV. Once again, $9.99 a month. Check it out. All the independent wrestling that you could want. And yeah, it was my first time working with a company outside of Northern Indiana. And the fact that I got to do it for one of my heroes in the world of wrestling was truly amazing.
Don't blame me for that. Don't blame me for that. Glad you got the opportunity to fly your wings to go somewhere else in the US instead of staying in that, let's see, I might get some hate for this word, of Stink Town, Indiana, is what I would say, and to experience
I wouldn't say that.
a not so better place on the East Coast of New Jersey.
It's a not so great place. You know, I needed better, bigger things in life, so you know, I got out of there. But
I went to New Jersey.
Yeah, man.
You know,
it was. Yeah, it was really cool to be able to work with Matt, especially. When I was doing that, I was actually still over here in Germany, but it was so cool to be in Germany, work with a company in New Jersey, and then have my commercials be literally worldwide, global. Like, you might not have known it was my voice, but people heard it. And if you go to H2O social medias, specifically on their Instagram, I am tagged on all of those commercials. Good. So if you find them, like, that's how you know it's legit. It's my voice. Yeah. They tagged me. They added me.
Well, that's good because that gives you credit, you know. And if any company doesn't do that, then they should not be around, you know, kind of thing. If you're not going to credit other people.
That's all I'm trying to do, man. Is build my brand, help out anybody I can in any way that I can.
So I'm sure you'll be getting your own website then, won't you? But like your own like audio, video kind of thing, I guess.
So that is definitely a plan for the future. But right now, you know, anybody's interested in that stuff, hit me up on my social medias. Instagram's going to be the best way, which is that Ty Guy 3, which I'm sure Edward will put a nice little graphic with my handle on it. And then Twitter is Tyler McBride 99. You can also hit me up on there.
Yeah, I know. I know why 99 is
the best way to go.
I know what the 99 is, and there is. We are now on your graphic, which has been shown on and off throughout this conversation. You can find him on Twitter and Instagram on your screen there, and of course it has his name, and you can use the, of course, hashtag the Fowler Show. So let me know what you think of this conversation. Do you enjoy?
Yeah, and if you found me on social media through this show, let me know so I can go ahead and tell Edward, and we can just make the whole entire world happy.
Yeah,
we're both out here trying to spread our brands, spread our business. Why not show some love?
Exactly. And I don't know how many other podcasts, I know you tell me off the air, you've reached out to other guys and gals, and you got some interesting offers on there. And I wonder, I'm not here to gloat, but I wonder how many of those have had on Eric Bischoff on their show. Not many.
You had Eric Bischoff?
Yeah. Back on Valentine's Day. Yeah, if you go, you check it out on this channel. Only on youtube.com/this channel. You can find it. Yeah, back on Valentine's
so Eric
Day.
Bischoff, Mance Warner, and myself.
Yeah. Well, Mance Warner episode was only a clip because because back when we did that, it was an audio, but that audio is still available, which is in the description of that clip. But because again, I am back on the show, but I kind of lost his number because I actually called him on his phone number. But on a free app I use, which I can contact any free US number for absolutely nothing, which is fantastic. I can call and text on there. It doesn't save me their numbers after more than if I don't message me for maybe 2 days or something, it would then disappear. And then I lost their number kind of thing. So it's a shame. I have tried to reach out back to him to see if I can get him on the show again. But as I've just told you before, he does not read his DMs. I thought about tweeting him, but then I thought, well, he might unfollow me. So I thought I'll just leave it at having his presence on my social media, on my Twitter account. But there you go. So, of course, many great talent in the northern area of Indiana and, of course, in the surrounding areas, because I never really knew that Detroit and Chicago were quite near to Indiana, because I always thought Detroit was further...
Ohio as well.
Yeah, Ohio. Yeah, you can't forget about the worst city in the world, Cleveland, Ohio, obviously. Because...
So, yeah, it's definitely the worst state in the country, and if anybody... Don't get it mixed up. It's fuck Ohio, fuck 440 all day, MDK till I die, all fucking day. Fuck Ohio.
Okay, well there we go. Yeah, well I was saying that because they got the worst football team in that state, and they got the worst wrestler representing.
They got the worst everything in that state.
They do, don't they? I feel sorry for the people of Ohio. Sorry if I offended you, by the way. Don't take it personally.
I'm not. Fuck Ohio, fuck 440.
Oh, my
word. MDK all fucking day.
Oh, my word. But, I mean, there's been some fantastic talent, and I saw a poster. I'm hoping by the end of this, as I'm talking now, hopefully we'll have the newer poster up. If not, then... you can check it out on the Honor. Is it Honor Pro Wrestling?
Correct. Yes. So you'll definitely see the poster on this show, because by the time it releases, it should be available. But on Facebook, we're just at Honored Pro Wrestling. Let's see what the other handles are.
Even the GM doesn't know where you can find himself. I'm only joking, of course. But I mean, it's so much to remember, isn't it?
We are in so many different places, and I work with so many different people that it's all hard to remember. But find us on Facebook at Honored Pro Wrestling. Twitter is Honored PW, and Instagram is Honored Pro. And then if you want to email us for whatever reason, that's honoredpw@gmail.com.
Which I'm sure doesn't get looked at that often, I bet. So you probably your best check.
Definitely. Yeah, Facebook is definitely our biggest market for whatever reason. I know it's not a very popular choice in the year 2021. A lot of companies are on Twitter, but we've had the most success on Facebook, so that's going to be the best place to find us.
I'm surprised about that because we had a guest on here who appeared on the Irish version of the Late Late Show, the Irish version, not the American version. Must point that out. He calls Facebook for old people, so I guess all your audience are all old people.
Hey, I wouldn't say that. I will never diss our audience, but hey, Facebook for some reason is the place to be for them. So, if you're interested in joining our community, Facebook's @Honored Pro Wrestling. It's the way to go.
And of course, if you disagree with me, it's for all people, then treat me and I can direct you over. Well, I can't do that because he's not on Twitter, so that's too bad. But you can direct me to me, but all people.
Yeah, our Twitter, if you're interested, is Honored PW. Yeah. It's not, we don't tweet a lot. We only really tweet our match graphics and our posters. Well, that's better than nothing. But yeah, Twitter's @Honored PW. Instagram is @Honored Pro.
Yeah, there you go. Some great places. Of course, Twitter is interesting place for sure. You don't know who may follow you on there, but one thing I will say to you is, since you're the general manager of your company of HPW, which you're co-owner of now, and you get to work with some great people.
I'm the GM of the Carnage division specifically.
Yeah, I don't know.
We have different divisions. We've got the Lions Den division, the Intensity division, our women's division, tag division, and Carnage division. So you got like
6 different general managers, and is that right?
No, we've got like 2 or 3. I specifically only deal with the Carnage division because of my love for hardcore and deathmatch, and I'm already doing so much different stuff outside, like in the background. But I definitely have to give a huge, major shout out to the people that helped me with Honor Pro Wrestling. Matt Starr, the MVP, the entire conversation, Mike Waterhouse. We could not float without him, no pun intended. Also, Aaron Johns and Damien as well.
Good shouts. Who do you think is going to be the standout star then from your division and from the rest of the roster as well?
So, man, I got some exciting news. So, we just confirmed Phoenix Kid for our November show, November 20th. It is happening at the Charles Black Center in South Bend, Indiana, and the show's called Salvation. Like we said, the poster will be up by the time this airs, and yeah, it's definitely going to be an amazing show. But for the people to be on the lookout for, one of our champions, Isaiah Moore, has appeared on AEW Dark multiple times, and he's our champion. And also our current Carnage champion, Theo Storm, he's really starting to make a name for himself in the area. And then my good old buddy Jaden Quick, who a lot of people count out, but you should definitely see him in the ring, and you will not be mistaken any longer, because that man can go.
Yeah, some interesting talent you got there. Cause, don't you get a bit tired where the same person is winning all the time in your company? Like, doesn't that never get boring for you?
That's why we're bringing in these new people. Like I said, we're bringing in Phoenix Kid. We've brought in Cole Radrick. We've brought in Josh Crane. We're using people that the other companies in our area aren't using. We're definitely setting ourselves apart.
What about, I know Shark Boy, he wrestles in another company in Indiana, but I mean, does he come up to Northern Indiana very much?
Not that I'm aware of, but, we're really focused on using current names or upcoming names. There's nothing against Shark Boy, but people like him are just not our focus at this time. But all the props to him. He had his run in TNA with New Jack. Great dude. We just don't see him in our books is all.
What if, of course, if New Jack was still here today, would he ever be in a contact of something you could use to maybe help one of the younger guys of your company to get over?
Yeah, before New Jack passed, we were actually in talks with him. He was going to be the one to present the debut of the Carnage title.
Okay.
But he was dealing with an injury and couldn't make it out.
That's a shame. But I mean, I'm glad that you were able to get, in talks with him and all that good stuff. But it's a shame that he ran out of time for that not to happen. But, hopefully, though, you found a suitable replacement, or any replacement at all, to crown the Carnage Championship bout too, though.
Yeah, rather than having somebody present the title, we decided to have it be in honor of Adam. Like I said, we all loved him so much, and we really wanted this division to be about him, so that's what we did.
Fair enough. November 20th is your next show. Of course, you got a lot of competition from other people, so hopefully people will come out to your show to check it out. How much?
Honor Pro Wrestling place to be. If you want to see the same old shit, go to the other people. Nothing against them, but we're out here. We're doing new stuff. We're flying in people. We're different.
Yeah.
And that's what you need to check.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of everything. We got tag, we got women's, we got high flying, we got hardcore. Like, if you are a fan of any type of wrestling, I can guarantee you we've got it over at HPW.
There you go. And of course, I don't think you mentioned this. You may have done, I might not be listening at the time. How much are tickets and stuff like that? If you know that, by the way, putting you on the spot here as always. Tickets, bell time. I can't know if you mentioned bell time or not. But if you know all that good stuff, then drop it.
Our show is called Salvation. Pretty cool name. We've got two amazing sponsors. We've got Godfather Productions and the Crazy Cookie Company. So not only can you watch wrestling, but you can get yourself a delicious cookie as well. Look up the Crazy Cookie Company on all forms of social media. We share them on our social medias as well, because what's better than wrestling and cookies? Like, that's two of my favorite things, and now we're combining them.
Yeah.
But our show is taking place November 20th at the Charles Black Center. First bell is actually at 6:30, so doors will be at 5:30 or 6. That is 3419 West Washington Street, South Bend, Indiana. Adults, which we consider 12 years and older, will be only $10, whereas kids 12 and under will be $5. And if you want to go to a rival show, tickets are more expensive. So not only are we cheaper, but we're going to provide you a better show as well.
Interesting. I hope it's a great success for you. And of course, we are assuming the show will be broadcast somewhere afterwards at a later date. Hopefully on the IWTV. Hopefully,
we are recording it. Yeah, we are recording it. We've been talking to IWTV trying to make stuff happen. But as of right now, if you want to find us, YouTube, Honored Pro Wrestling. We got matches. We got full-length shows. It's where you need to see us.
Okay, well, thank you for that, because I wasn't aware of that either. So there you go. Even I learned something new here this evening on the Fowler show. It's been a privilege having you on the show. Couldn't be the right word there.
Yeah,
on the show.
It was super fun. And before we wrap this up, can I just make one more quick little plug for our show on the 20th?
Go ahead.
So 20th November, here's some of the people you'll see. You'll see the Grey Wolves, Theo Storm, Isaiah Moore, Jaden Quigg, Phoenix Kid, and Charlie Cruel. So we have got a great lineup. Come check us out. Please support. If you can't make it out there, hey, support us on social media any way you can. Likes, shares, all of that. We appreciate all of it.
There you go. There you go. So there you go. Support them and check them out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All the links, of course, all the other stuff you can rewind back to early on in this show. Of course, there's more of the Edward Fowler show after these 4 minutes. Don't go away. There's more to come up next. Do you feel like because you guys have been on for like 32 years now? I've been since the 89. And
about, yeah.
Do you feel as popular as ever, or do you think you've got now a new whole fan base compared to when you guys began back 32 years ago in 1989? I think that's correct, isn't it?
Yeah, right. So Fred was born in 89, and I'm Too Sexy came out in 1991.
Yeah.
The fan base has changed. I mean, obviously, they're all dead. They're all dead. Yeah, it was a big funeral service. What's happened? What we sort of initially we were like a sort of household name kind of band, which we weren't expecting, and we had the whole sort of mainstream media Saturday night TV thing.
Yeah.
And after about a year and a half, maybe 2 years, we didn't enjoy that in the slightest. So as of 94, I think it was, we were already independent. The label we were signed to was very much independent, but we went more independent and went independent from them. So ever since 1994, we've sort of distanced ourselves from where we were, because we didn't want to sign to a major label. We didn't want major management, and we've that's a good thing spiritually and mentally. Not such a great idea in terms of our finances.
No.
But we've still done. Yeah, we're still very, very lucky, and we're blessed in that regard.
It just changes. Also, it changes as you hang around. Actually,
it does. Yeah,
it's weird. It's kind of you go through this peak at the beginning, and then it kind of settles in the middle, and then when people realise that you're not going anywhere, they kind of sort of rediscover you in a funny kind of way.
Yeah. And a few things have happened along the way when Jay-Z rapped about us, and he did. Yeah, in the Ruler's Back.
Yeah.
And then obviously the track with Taylor, co-write with Taylor Swift.
Which we'll get into in a little bit as well. Yeah. And
I'm Too Sexy. I mean, the song is more famous than us, which we now have come to terms with. We sort of railed against that initially.
Yeah.
But you can't. It is just what it is, and to be honest with you, we're both in our early 60s now, and easy. And we've got loads and loads of mates in their 50s and 60s who still play in pubs because they have to.
Well, they can't now.
No, they won't. No,
can't even do that now.
Who were?
Yeah.
But my point being that is that it's too easy to see the negative in things, and we are extraordinarily lucky to have the career we have. And people say, "Oh, don't you get fed up? I'm Too Sexy." Well,
I've never got fed up.
First of all, I'm never fed up with it. I get tired of the shadow it casts on other songs, but I never tire of the song. I think it's a great pop song, and so with every job, there's good and bad. I'm not going to really. It's too easy to be negative. I can't be bothered with that.
No, don't blame you that. But I mean, when you wrote the song, okay, so did you write it in 1991 or 1990 when you wrote the song Too Sexy? Did you expect it to be the most recognizable song worldwide at the time when you wrote it, or did you think this might just be on the charts for a few weeks, people forget about it, move on kind of thing? Did you expect the reaction you got from it then at the time?
No, we didn't. I think any artist that tells you they know they've got a hit on their hands is probably fooling themselves, really.
I don't think you know.
9 times out of 10, you just don't know. And with Sexy, when Phil Spalding put the bass on, the bass guitar, that's when I thought, oh no, I like this. It was beginning to kick along. But it was such an odd thing. It was the first track that we'd written with the three of us, me, Fred and Rob Manzoli. So all we wanted really initially was to get it on the radio. That's all we wanted. We just wanted to hear it on the radio.
Well, you pretty much achieved that and a lot more. Didn't you?
Back in those days, of course, when things were a little bit looser, we took it into Simon Bates, and he played it off the acetate.
Yeah.
We just walked in the door.
Yeah. Our manager walks
or our manager walks with her. But obviously now you wouldn't be able to do that because it's all be playlisted and computerized from the moon or whatever it is. So, but it was pretty loose back then.
That was White Said Fred here on the Fowler Show. That was from, I believe, back in May. I should also mention before we wrap this up here on this premiere night, what we're going to call it, there's a clip which Ty McBride wanted me to show everybody here on YouTube, but I didn't want to showcase that because there's a YouTube policy out there which if you upload violence or dangerous moves or blood, whatever it may be, that they will demonetize or shadow ban your channel. I do not want that to happen because I want as many people to see this live show / the clips I post. So I can't do that unfortunately, but I can do one better. There's a link in the description below underneath the main description of the actual show about it's under Ty. Check out Ty being hit with something or other. I wrote it in the description below. Check out the videos on TikTok. You do not need an account to view the video because I got the link without signing in, hence why I know. So if you just click on the link and it would take you to the video of Ty taking the light tubes to his body, and you can see the impact of that. We do apologize for that. We couldn't show it here on YouTube because of that new rule which came out a few years ago. So it's too much violence that you get demonetized and maybe even shadow ban, whatever shadow ban means. Anyway, it's coming up to the end of the show here. We meant to be live at 9 o'clock. That's not going to happen because, like I said at the start of the show, I feel that that's too long of the show. So I'm going to finish it when I like to finish it. And I think it's a good time to finish the show, I thought. We had a great show. We talked some sport. We talked some wrestling. And speaking of wrestling, before I do let you go, of course, we had 3 debuts last night on All Out, AEW's All Out. With, of course, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, and, of course, Wyatt, obviously. It does remind you, doesn't it, of another company? Doesn't it? You know, again, before his debut, it sounds like they're doing the same thing which the predecessor did the same thing 20 years ago. And look at that happened to go, didn't it? You know, it looks like AEW... to me, has too much talent. I think they've got too many talent. They've got 4 shows. They've got 2 on YouTube, 2 on TV. I just think they've just got too many talents. And it's going to be a matter of time before all of them, well, not all of them, but most of them get released because they'll need to save up some money and to invest in making new stars. Because at the moment, they're just relying on old stars, aren't they? Adam Cole... You know, he's not old yet, but, you know, he's already a established star inside, you know, a smaller place. He was the big fish in a small pond in AEW, the small fish in a big pond. That's right, terminology for you. Anyway, just thought to mention on that because many people are thinking, oh, why didn't you mention about that? Well, I just did. So there you go. Of course, tonight is War, live on the USA Network, 8 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. in the UK time on BT Sport. Hope you're continuing for that. Who knows what may happen? Might not be as exciting as AEW All Out, but hey-ho, it's a wrestling show tonight for you. But from what I was here from the Fowler Show, hope you enjoy this episode, this debut weeknight edition of the show. I don't know how long this will last for. It might only last for one day. Who knows? But don't forget that on Friday, and possibly, maybe before this, we might have another guest joining the show from a hit reality show. Got an email from this morning from the person, so I'm looking forward to getting a response back and seeing if they are free this week to see if they can appear on the show. Be good to have them on the show to talk about all things about this reality show because, again, this is a sports and entertainment show. Now, then, of course, don't forget as well that on Friday, Jared Johnson will be here talking all things soccer with us, talking about all the big events happening over the past weekend, including that extraordinary controversial game between Argentina and I think it might be in Brazil maybe then, but it happened in Brazil where these 4 players were taken off the pitch by the health officials and the game was abandoned a few minutes later. We get always reaction as well on Friday at 2:15 p.m. Eastern right here on the show. But until then, enjoy the rest of your Monday afternoon or evening or even morning, depending when you are watching this at whatever time. But I do hope you enjoyed this episode. Make sure to leave a like, share the video around, comment. Let me know what you thought about the show and about Ty's interview with my truly. Any questions you thought I should have asked him, or any other questions I think you may have thought were a bit pushy maybe, or a bit rude, let me know. Leave a comment. Love comments. Or you can hashtag the Fowler Show on Twitter. You can tweet me. All my social media links are on the screen for you right there. Hope to see you again in the near future. We've now got over 147 subscribers.